All right. Let's see if we can put this bucket back on the CS2210 loader. Took it off in the previous video, did a little mowing, and now we're going to pat it back on. First thing you do is kind of line your tractor up from the driver's seat so that the pins are roughly in a straight line here to sit back in the little slot for the loader arms. So just kind of checked both sides. Looks like I'm pretty well lined up. Start the tractor up. See if I can do all this one hand. Took it off one hand, should be able to put it on one-handed. It's gonna be a little noisy. See, we got the pins pretty well lined up on both sides. Next thing we're going to do is reattach the hydraulic lines. Honestly, I don't know how to do that one-handed, so I might sit this, well, I can try it, I guess. Nope, I'm going to sit this down for a moment. I'll get lucky and put it in the right spot here. There's the bottom one. Essentially. Definitely want to put them on in the right order. Alright, so this time I did actually bring a rag over, cleaned up the mess I made when I took the bucket off. So you can see we got the hydraulic lines hooked up again. You do want to make sure they're routed properly. You want them on the outside of the loader and not going in between the loader and the tractor itself, or they could pinch up some. So when we start the tractor back up and we tilt the loader, or we tilt the bucket back down flat into the float position, these little pins should seat nicely into the loader itself. So start it back up and give that a whirl. I backed away just so you could hear me. The last thing we need to do is we need to maneuver the bucket a little bit, the loader a little bit, so that we can line up the pins to go back in the holes. I talked in the last video about being on a flat surface so that you don't have to use the parking brake. Sometimes that helps right here because sometimes the tractor will move just a little bit when you are lining up those holes. So I'm going to manipulate the joystick a little bit here, see if I can get that to line up. Let's see how well we did. Sometimes use a little bit of the boot wedge to get that in there. So you can see that's in there and the pin is lined up. It's the first video I've done like this, so sorry for the shakiness. And this one's a little off. do it your way. I do it mine. I think if something like that's going to break this tractor, then we got bigger problems. Now the last thing to do is remove that kickstand. In the first video I mentioned that I had bent mine. Part of that had to do with the fact that I forgot to take the darn kickstand off, and I was driving around with it and trying to move some material. Pretty stupid, live and learn. So I'm going to start the tractor, I'm going to lift the bucket. Alright, so you don't have to lift it up that high, but you just take the pins off and then remount the kickstand on the pins on top of the loader arm. So you notice that my kickstand has been welded. After I bent it, I had a guy who was kind enough a local guy, to heat it up, bend it straight, and then I also had him weld a couple of reinforcements onto it for me, and I'll show you those real quick here. So normally the kickstand only has the reinforcements down the one side, the side that's closer to me. I had him go ahead and do the same thing on the other side just to give it a little more strength. I'm confident that it was probably strong enough from the factory if he didn't do the stupid stuff I did. You just have to remember that if you weld some supports on there, that you leave room for the pins to still move. So anyway, loader's back on, ready to move material. Hope this helps you guys.